And we're live officially on the RTF Sports Network.
Nice.
So this show is ready to roll. We have 21 eyeballs on the stream on Facebook right now. We have a bunch of reactions. We have a special guest from a local Rochester, New York football team, the head coach of the Charlotte Colonials, as our guest, and he has all of his team showing up to the stream here. We got Kodak number 28. We got Martin number 90 checking in. Hello, everybody. Demetrius. Okay, I can say Demetrius. I got that one. Thank you for the clarification. But for those just listening on the radio station, welcome, as you are now in our AFC North special edition. And we're going to get this show rolling with a little warm-up. Where can they find us, Fred?
They can find us on all three major social media websites, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at On and Off the Field Podcast. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for uncut episodes and other great content coming soon. If you want to find out more about the show and all the great things that we are doing, head on over to onandoffthefield.com, where you can also find all the podcasting platforms that we send our shows to. And one more spot you can find us is the RTF Sports Network. You can follow the RTF Sports Network on Facebook, and you can go to rtfsportsnetwork.com, where you can listen to On and Off the Field from 3 to 4 on Thursdays, as well as Right Now on Thursday nights live. And you can listen to other great sports shows.
A lot of great sports shows on the RTS Sports Network. We're probably the best. Well, at least second best, because we lost a twist. That's a really great show they got going over there, too. So I'll take the number 2 spot for the RTS Sports Network. But also on onandoffthefield.com, you can find our charities tab. And right now, you don't even have to go to the charities tab for our current fundraiser. It's right on the homepage. There's a donate button right there. Mm-hmm. But first, there's our Feeding America fundraising page that is still going on. But the new one is the Boys and Girls Club of America, which right here in Rochester is the Boys and Girls Club of Rochester. So we're raising money for them. We had our first donation from our buddy Matt. Yeah, good old Matty D. I went golfing with him yesterday.
Nice.
And he threw $25 in the pot, and that's already 3% towards our goal. So
perfect.
Just another couple $20, and we'll be there before we know it. The Boys and Girls Club of America. Donate on onandoffthefield.com.
Yeah.
We got just comments coming. We got Jay Green, number 12, Alexander, number 27, Coach Rico checking in. What's going on, Coach?
Nice.
I'm loving it. This is
awesome.
Oh, so that's our warm-up. Welcome to the show, everybody. And we're going to jump into some actual content. And, of course, like always, we're going to hit the other sports real quick.
Yeah.
Just real quick. There's really nothing going on with the other sports, but except that they're, getting ready to get started. We can start with the bad news first, because then we're going to end on a good note. Get it out of the way real quick. The Major League Baseball came out with a 114 game season. What do they call it?
Proposal.
See, I knew it started with a P. I couldn't figure it out. 114 game season proposal, and they said no. Like, get that garbage out of here. That was the owners who said that, because basically this is a battle between the owners who want to play less games, because the less games they play, the less money they lose, because there's no fans there, and the players want to play more games, because the more games they play, the more money they can make. So it's generally it's just a stalemate that nobody wins. MLB doesn't win, the players don't win, the fans don't win, nobody wins. It's just a disaster. I think the last proposal I saw was 50 games. The players are not going to take 50 games.
That's
yeah, but Major League Baseball is not really going anywhere. It's just nauseating to listen and watch these no negotiations happen. But to end on good news, the NBA has officially agreed to return. We have basketball.
Woohoo! Yeah, basketball.
Not for another month or so. Basically, virtually 2 months.
I'll take it. Hey, at least there's a timeline. It's coming.
there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
It is going to be a 22-team season that starts July 31st. And personally, I don't really understand what they're doing. I think I saw something about an 8-game regular season for the last couple teams to like fight for the 8th and 9th seeds. I don't know. They're all going to play in Orlando. There's no travel. They're all going to Orlando. They're going to hang out there. But I mean, did you understand the format more than I did? Because I don't understand it.
I feel like the reason they're doing the 13 teams from the West and the 9 from the East is that like the extra team in the East and then the additional 5 teams in the West, I guess they're all within a couple of games of getting the 8th seed. To me, I'd be like, nope, just cut it at the 8 and let's go. Like, let's just make this a good playoff and we'll move on. And like, there's going to be an asterisk to any championship this year because of what's going on. So let's just cut it off and go. But I think they're going to get more. They could get more media attention doing it this way. You could get more viewership on with those playing games because these teams are playing for a little bit more now. Like they have a chance now. It's kind of like a lot of those playing games, but it's definitely a weird concept to do it this way.
Yeah, they definitely made this as hard as possible to understand. And
right.
Listening to my favorite program, the Dan Patrick Show, he brought up a very good point. And I believe the reason that they probably went this direction was because there was a lot of teams, like you said, that were close to getting that 8th seed. And you really didn't know what was going to happen at the end of the season. Anything could have happened, any seeding possibilities. The main purpose, I think, the reason they went this way was to just give the Pelicans and Zion Williams just a small chance of possibly getting into the playoffs because that's what people want. That's what people have. I know NBA has been gone for a long time now, but if we go back to the hype that Zion created around everything basketball related, that's really all this is. It's all right. Let's create a chance for Zion to make it to the playoffs because then we're gaining all the eyeballs. If Zion's not there, we might not get the average viewer that the hardcore basketball fans will tune in, but I wouldn't probably, but I might if Zion's in there. I'd love to see Zion kick butt and win the first round of the playoffs or something like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So that'll be I at least got one person to agree with me.
There we go.
And even losing to LeBron I think that's the other part is like, and you said it's going to put an asterisk in Ja Morant too. If he doesn't, I don't even know if they're doing awards. He was my rookie of the year. People are pulling for Zion for rookie of the year. He didn't even play the first half of the season. Ja's been dominating. I love Ja.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said they're going to put an asterisk next to whoever wins the title this year. I got one question for you. It just based off of the size of the asterisk. Do you think people make a bigger deal about the size of the asterisk if, let's say, the 8 seed gets it? Like, let's say the Suns fight their way in for some godforsaken reason. Or maybe if you go a little bit more realistic, maybe the Celtics, someone who wasn't projected to win the finals this year. Is someone like that winning it a bigger asterisk? Or will people just strictly because he's LeBron, if LeBron and the Lakers win the championship this year, will his asterisk be bigger? It's a weird question, I know.
It is, yeah. I would put a bigger asterisk next to LeBron winning because just the fact that he's an aging basketball player and load management is the new biggest thing in the NBA right now, or prior to everything shutting down. But I feel like that would allow a lot of these veteran players to be super fresh on the courts, playing these, is it about 3 months, I think, is the projected timeline of this, the remainder of the season, including the finals. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the Cinderella story with the NCAA tournaments. If like an 8 seed comes in and just takes it all the way, like I think the Trailblazers in the West are trying to play in. So I think they were really trying to get that extra couple teams in the have that play-in games. So like if they make it in, get that 8 seed, and then they just clean house all the way to the finals, And then hopefully they're playing against the Celtics in the finals, but I can only wish. So
yeah,
but yeah, I think the
no one else wants that.
I think the LeBron asterisks a little bigger.
Yeah, it's fair. A lot of people had a lot of faith in that team, but you never know. LeBron aging, something could have happened, and then Anthony Davis injury prone, something could have happened.
Right.
It's just stuff that you can only talk about, and like not being a realistic thing. It's just there.
Yeah.
It's fun to talk about, and July 31st, we'll see it play out, whatever the case may be. Maybe when we get closer, we can take our picks for who will win it all. I'm sitting right now on the Lakers with fresh legs and how much they were dominating at the end of the season. I'll take the Lakers, but I could see the Clippers being dominant as well, especially with Kawhi Leonard and his infamous postseason success. So that is it for other sports. And before we get to our NFL topics, the moment everybody has been waiting for, all of our Charlotte Colonial people commenting on here, the time has come, and I hope I got the title right. We're going to be bringing in our guest. Click some buttons. Hey, Carlo, how are you?
Yeah, it was good.
Let me pull up
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Can now. All right. Well, how you doing today? What's going on?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the weather.
It is. It's great weather. Can't deny that. Got to mow the lawn in it. So I wish it was a little bit cooler out, but
yeah,
I'll take what I can get. I won't complain. So, since we got you here, and so we're going to talk about you a little bit, your background, and definitely talk about some local. Oh, I got some feedback too. I think some weird scratchy sounds. Also freezing up too.
Let's see if I can hear you guys better now.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
No.
Can you hear us?
No, I think we're there.
We back?
You guys there?
Yes.
Yeah.
We good?
Better. It was all scratchy earlier.
Yeah, it was. All right. Well, as long as we're in a good spot now. So we're going to bring you out here just to talk about your background a little bit, and then we'll hit up our local sports team, which I was very happy to come in contact with you and learn about. So first of all, you have a great background and very, very professional background. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
And so I'm originally from Georgia. I did 7 years in the Army. Was stationed in Georgia. Then I got stationed out in Texas. I got into football pretty much at a young age, from Pop Warner to high school. It was a lifestyle down south. It was like you had to do it. If you weren't cool if you didn't play football, and then you weren't probably allowed home if you didn't play football. It's just something that everybody did, and everybody's parents were so into it. From high school, I ended up going to play Division III at Huntington College in Montgomery, Alabama. After college, that's when I joined the military. Did 7 years, and then started playing semi-pro football, actually in Texas. So in Texas, semi-pro football is like a big thing. There's I was stationed out in El Paso, so there were like 12 teams, 10 teams just in El Paso alone. There was like a shit ton of teams. Like everybody had like their own teams, and I just kept growing and growing, and it was a bigger thing. I got into it there, and then from there I got into coaching. It was something I've always wanted to do. Once I knew my time was done playing, I started coaching. So first I started down there with a prep program. Then I was at Texas A&M, or Texas Tech A&M for a bit. And the Bulldogs were down there for a good year. Then after, they were a D2 school. Then after that, we ended up moving to Rochester, New York.
And Rochester's a little bit different than Texas, I think.
Yeah. No, it definitely is a little bit different from Texas, but honestly, like when I first got here, I played one more year here with Upstate Predators. Got to meet a lot of people, got to see how everybody was here. And honestly, the competitiveness here in football, I would say, is just as great as the competitiveness in Texas. Here, it's not a year-round thing, but I feel like here, if it was a year-round thing, it'd be a lot different. People down in Texas better watch out.
Definitely. So I've never really heard of the Northeastern Football Alliance. Mm-hmm. What kind of league is that? Like, is it considered semi-pro for football here?
Yes, sir. So it's considered semi-pro. Majority of the teams range all from like Buffalo, Syracuse. We got Troy. We got who's another? Tri-Valley. So I mean, it ranges from all over. It's a league that's been around for a good bit. I mean, like I said, I'm new here, so this league's been around way before I was even, here.
Oh, nice. I'm just kind of curious as to how long the Charlotte Colonials have been. Kind of how long you've been with them.
So I started the Colonials 4 years ago. This will actually be our 4th year. Starting this team was pretty much primarily, I coached at Arcadia High School, which is here in Greece. I coached 2 years there, and then seeing a lot of the players, develop, and some players, go off to college. Down south, it's huge on, it didn't matter if you were NAIA, D2, D3, D1, it doesn't matter. If you're a high school senior, it's our coach's job to try to help you continue playing football and getting education. That was like the biggest thing. So, when I was coaching, I noticed there were a lot of players that weren't playing football anymore. They were just like, I'm stopping. I'm not going to college. So I kind of started this program 4 years ago to, try bring in those players so that way we could try to assist them and help them, get that other opportunity. We get a lot of players that played at Morrisville, Alfred, and either it was the wrong time for them, academics, or they got in some trouble, and so we try to use this kind of like as a little bit of a rebound. They come in, try to get some film, and try to go back to school.
Oh, nice. And how have the Colonials been doing so far since the initial start?
So since initial start, our first year, honestly, it was a year that nobody expected us to do anything. We were a young team. We ended up going 8-2 our first season.
Oh, nice.
We made it to the playoffs. We lost in the playoffs, and then total we're 18, 11, and 1 with 2 playoff appearances. So we've done pretty good. We've had our retaining, I guess, for team-wise, we retained a good 80% of our players, so they come back.
Oh, nice.
I think so far we're sitting at 19 players that we've assisted to like either college or, film for, like arena or, just different stuff. Like we've had 2 guys go for CFL workouts.
Oh, wow.
So it's been something that we've been, admin on and continue growing little by little.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah.
That's, just the fact of helping, helping kids move to that next level and just providing an opportunity like that is really just something. No matter how good you always want to win, obviously that helps, but just the real win is when you see someone, get that tryout, make a team, go to college. Yeah. That's really amazing.
You'd be surprised how many guys I get telling me like, hey coach, like, I was in some trouble, before I even came on the team, and just being able to stay and being a part of a team, oriented, because we stay pretty close. Like these guys communicate all the time. Like we're always talking, discussing different stuff, trying to get better. In the gym right now, there are guys like working out on their own. And the biggest thing is when guys come tell you like, hey, like I was in some mixed up stuff and you helping me kind of like helped me. And, I appreciate you doing that. And that stuff like means more than, winning. Like everybody wants to win, but at the same time, like that kind of stuff just surpasses everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, just like Rico said, just in this comment right here, it's more than football; it's a family, and that's the real that's just amazing stuff to hear, and that comes from you. That comes from you leading them, and it kind of leads into my next question of, with recent events, we talk about on the show constantly. This is why we started the fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club of America, is to also help the youth around America raise money for that organization. Because when you start younger, just for kids, even teens, not even up to the level of 20s, but really building that base and a good place for them to start. So it's kind of like what you're doing with the football team, and with recent events with the George Floyd incident, and not even just recent events, it's been something that's been going on for years, generations. Once you're able to get back together with a team, I don't really know where you're at right now with still coronavirus, everything going on. What's your plans to really kind of help use this as a teaching moment, put a positive spin on this? Because that's kind of our motto for On Off the Field, is positive change, making something positive out of a very negative situation.
Like this year, I don't know if you can see my shirt, but like this year this was a little bit before like a lot of this stuff started happening. But like you said, it's been going on for a long time. It says strength and family. So we kind of went with something a little bit this way. I did prior was because a lot of the players that we bring all kinds of players from East Ridge to Wilson, like you name it. I probably have a player that probably played there, and from different backgrounds, different upbringings. So when you get all these guys on a football field and different race, different upbringings, they're used to stuff completely being different, and you put them on the football field and you tell them, hey, this is what your job is. This is what you got to do. Everybody comes together as a unit. Everybody comes together as a family where you could accomplish that goal that you need to make. And it's been able to be a great feeling where playing football hasn't only been just about winning games or, doing stuff for the community and everything. It's been about bringing everybody kind of together. And I feel like football is like a great thing. I feel like if we idolize football a little bit more into the community on how we treat each other, it would probably help us a lot.
I think that's kind of the same road that Patrick Mahomes said in his social media posts. He grew up in a locker room, and he grew up around football and just like that around a team, which is his family, and everyone respected each other. And I think you nailed it right on the head there. And
like these guys, they don't get along, and that's the biggest thing. Like we're not meant to get along, but we're meant to work through it, move past it, understand each other. Yeah, it might take a while to understand each other, but with these guys, like they get onto it on the field, they get in bickerments, they get into arguments and everything. But when it comes to the long run, they're still brothers. When it comes to someone else on the outside versus that guy, guess what? That guy he was just arguing with is sticking up for him. So like they have each other's backs, and I feel like that's something that we need to do just in everyday life. Make sure we have each other's backs. If you don't understand the situation, try to understand the situation. Talk to players. I've talked to some of my players. I've messaged some of my players. I've talked to them, like trying to understand, more. I can't say I understand exactly what they're going through. I can't say that I've been there, but what I could do is talk to them to understand their point of view, understand how they're, how they look at it, and learn from pretty much them talking to me, them telling me their experiences and supporting them.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, because I've never been in that situation either. And that's one thing I've been trying to do more, is to listen and start up conversations. That's what Blackout Tuesday was all about. Get off the social media and start up your conversation and start learning if you don't understand, if you're not in that situation. And we really appreciate you coming on the show today to enlighten us a little bit. And we're without a doubt going to be talking more often. We've already talked a little bit about meeting with the team and getting live and really, really doing something positive. We can't wait.
No, absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me. I know the players loved it. And as soon as we put it out to the players, like everybody's like, when's it start? When is it going on? So I'm pretty good. They were on here telling you their numbers and their names. So we'll definitely keep watching you guys. And thank you for everything.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone watching as well, the whole team. Welcome to the show, and thank you.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a good night.
You too.
You too. Great.
Oh, yeah. That's football right there. That's what you love to hear.
Football is more than a sport. It's easy to, the one thing I repeatedly keep seeing is, people tell athletes and they tell sports media people to stick to sports. That's been everyone's go-to. Everyone tries to speak out against injustice and everything. They say stick to sports. Sports is more than sports, though. An athlete still has a personality. He's still a human, and they use their platforms to make a positive impact. And when you tell people to stick to sports, you're telling them to basically get out of our humanity. You're just an athlete. You're not a human. Stay out of our conversations. Just stick to sports. And that's garbage, because some of the athletes, like everyone that plays football in the locker room, they probably understand brotherhood more than anyone else that, doesn't play sports. It really is a unique perspective.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah.
So we thank Carlo again for coming on, and I repeatedly love seeing all of the comments flowing in from all the everyone on the team. The Charlotte Colonials right here in Rochester, New York. And thank you, Carlo.
Yeah, thank you, Carlo.
All right, and we're going to push forward into our actual AFC North stuff. We want to make sure we have enough time to get to what we actually want to get to here. So, AFC North, Fred. Bengals, Steelers, Browns,
and Ravens.
Who do you want to start with?
Well, do we want to start with the team that I think should be winning the poll question, or do we want to start with a different team?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's get an update on the poll results. Do you have it up already? You already beat me there.
I don't have it up.
Okay.
I know the team I voted for was not winning, so.
Oh, who'd you vote for?
I voted for the Bengals.
Interesting. Oh, now my phone's going to act all wonky. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it?
I want to say the Browns were taking the lead.
I do agree with you. I do think the Browns were in the lead at the time. And I can't get to the poll question. There we go. All right, we're back. So our poll question was, which team, because normally we do, which team is going to win the division. With this division, I think that's a given, and that would have been a runaway with the Ravens. So we changed it up to who will improve the most from last season in the AFC North. Who will be the most improved come this season? The first place was the Browns with 5 votes. The Steelers, 3 votes, and the Bengals, 3 votes tied. And the Ravens had 1 vote for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why that happened. But the Browns did lead. So let's start with the Browns, like you said. Right. Let's see what we got. So the most interesting headline from this Browns offseason, which is pretty surprising, is actually about being quiet. In the past, the Browns have been very volatile, I think is the correct word I want to use there.
Yes.
But Baker Mayfield came out. OBJ's been pretty quiet. Everyone's been quiet over there. Baker Mayfield came out and said he's going to stay quiet and let his play do the talking. I'd like to believe that. And I think he probably said something around the same area last year. But it's what I said last year, and I think will be the same as this year. If they start losing, do the lips start moving? It's kind of where I'm at with that. And do you trust Baker Mayfield to stick to his word and just trust the Browns in general?
Oof, I don't know. I mean, if there's any indication from last year with the way Baker Mayfield handled the pressure when things started getting tough for them, I mean, was it like 3 times he trimmed or shaved his beard or face during a game? So he clearly was crumbling under pressure. So, yeah, I don't trust Baker Mayfield to stay quiet. And I feel like it's
either. And
if they get on a winning streak, it's going to be he'll get loud and then he'll quiet because they'll start losing again, and then they'll hit that low, and then he'll get loud again, and it's like it's too reactionary. Almost seems like is the kind of player that Baker Mayfield is, and I feel like that's what we've seen in college when he came out to the NFL, and that was something that I always worried about with him when the Bills were looking at drafting a quarterback that year. But for the Browns, it's going to be tough. I mean, we can hope that Kevin Stefanski gets the locker room in shape and kind of eliminates some of that noise that they could be putting out like they did last year, but who knows?
Yeah, I think last year was amplified with there being no leadership. But for those who want to vote on the poll, I forgot to mention this, probably should have mentioned it. If you want to vote on the poll, we have a new group page for all of our fans, the OOTF family group page. I'll be posting it on our regular like page and I'll be spamming it. But if you just Google or Facebook in the groups, OOTF family, you'll find it and you can vote in our poll. That'll be a weekly thing as well. So, the Browns are interesting. I think I completely agree with you. The fact that if they're winning, Baker might kind of come out and say, "Hey, we're winning. You doubted us." Yeah, nah. And if they're losing, it'll be just the same as last season.
Right.
So, let's get to some game picks with the credit to whatever this website is called. It's at the top there. playoffpredictors.com. Thank you for letting us use your site so I don't get sued. I should say that. I don't know. It probably wouldn't happen, but it's worth a try. So, week 1, Cleveland at Baltimore.
Oh, that was the game that Cleveland won last year, but I'm taking Baltimore for sure.
Right off the bat of the season, I'm going to say Lamar's got fresh legs. He's ready to run.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with you. It's week 2, Thursday night football, short week, and Cleveland's at home against Cincinnati.
Oh, I think Cleveland gets their first win there.
Yeah, I don't think Joe Burrow's ready to lead that offense yet. It would be, and if we disagree on a pick, we'll flip a coin. We'll see what happens. But so far, so good. Washington at Cleveland.
Ooh, Washington at Cleveland. I would take Cleveland. They're at home.
Yeah, the Redskins are an interesting team.
It's because
I want to say that. I gotta see how Chase Young's going to be. That defense could be scary, but Cleveland did improve the O-line a little bit. I kind of want to pick Washington. I don't know. That defense is scary.
I mean, this is like one of those, like, I'd be curious as to what the spread is going into that week to see what the point spread is going to be. I could really see either way. I'm only taking Cleveland because they're at home.
All right. Since it is a coin flip, we'll take the home team. I think it is a coin flip, though. Rico is taking Washington, though, which I could see it. I could see it. I'm not going to doubt it. But since they're at home and it's so close, we'll do that. So Cleveland on the road to Dallas.
Oh, Cowboys all day.
Cowboys all day. Yeah, that seems fair. You'd like to think that offense is finally ready to go in Dallas.
Yeah.
We say that every year, but you'd like to think this is the actual year they do it. Sunday night football, Indy at Cleveland.
I'm taking the Colts on that one for sure.
Are you? Oh, for sure. Wow. You're very confident. Okay. I don't know. I don't like the Colts yet as a team.
No?
I don't like Phillip Rivers. I don't like Jacob Eason coming in as a starter. I know that was your hot take from Tuesday was Eason starts the season. Very hot take.
A very hot take.
We'll take the Colts. I'm fine with that.
All right.
I don't think it's a runaway, but
no. I mean, they got a pretty good defense, though.
They do. It's one of their stronger, like Darius Leonard, I think is his name.
Yep.
He's a beast of a linebacker. Probably one of the best up-and-coming linebackers in the game for sure. All right, another divisional game. Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
I think at Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh takes it.
Okay. Yeah, that defense is scary again. Just kind of like the same as Indy. Scary defense in Pittsburgh. It's a heck of an environment. Yeah. So they're on a 3-game losing streak right now, but can they bounce back against Joe Burrow in week 7?
Joe Burrow's still going to be figuring things out. I take Cleveland.
It's before their bye week still, so I'm going to take Cleveland as well. They haven't. I say they struggle through the first half of the season. If anything, for Cincinnati, they bounce back in the second half, but we'll get to their schedule momentarily.
Yeah.
Raiders visiting Cleveland.
Ooh, I'm take the Raiders because Josh Jacobs is going to come into Cleveland there. He was a standout rookie last year. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Man, I really want to take Cleveland on this one. Let's flip a coin for this one. I say let's flip a coin, but
where's the
bag of quarters? I got a bag of quarters over here. We're gonna. I got a better idea. Rico, split this one for us. He's doing the game picks with us. Not enough chemistry for the Raiders to win. Raiders. We got. Cameron chimes in. Hey, Cameron, my good buddy from Pulaski.
Nice.
He says Raiders over Cleveland, but then we got Cleveland over the Raiders from Rico. So we're still gonna flip a coin. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads for Raiders?
Yep.
Oh, God. That coin went flying. It's tails. Sorry. Cleveland takes week 8 by a coin flip. That's going to be an interesting game to watch, though. And then it's their bye week. They're rested. Houston at Cleveland.
Houston.
Really? Man. We disagree on so much, but I'll give you Houston since I took it with the Raiders. I don't trust Houston this season. I think it'll be a mess for them. And I think with Houston becoming a mess this season, it'll result in Deshaun Watson one foot out the door for leaving Houston.
I could see that,
yeah. Philly at Cleveland.
Ooh. I would say Philly. That's a tough one. Like you would think Philly is gonna be the dominant team, but where are the Browns at week 11? Like they just came off the bye week 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, right now they're 4-5, so they're not feeling good. I'd have to say. So they're fired up. Philly. All right, we'll go with Philly. Rico also says Philly.
All right,
and so does Carlo. And Carlo also said Watson to the Pats. That has definitely been a hot opinion that is taken over this offseason with Bill O'Brien's stupidity. Cleveland going to Jacksonville. Look at this stretch coming up. 2 away games and then at home, and then 2 away games and at home, and then finish. Or that week 18 doesn't exist. Sorry, confusing. So who do you got? Cleveland going to Jacksonville. Tough stretch coming up for them.
I think Cleveland takes it. I think Jacksonville is rebuilding.
Yeah, Jacksonville like 1-15 season. All right, Cleveland at Tennessee. That's a tough one. Second game on the road.
I would take Tennessee on that one.
I would agree. Oh, my mother has chimed in. Of course, Philly. Oops, sorry. Got another one. Philly. And I think I got a couple of Cleveland's in retrospect to the Titans game. Oh, no. And then Rico comes in with Tennessee. Okay, good. All right, my comments are behind. Sorry, guys. All right. I was a little concerned there, taking Cleveland over Tennessee. Cameron also says Tennessee. That's a runaway. All right. Do we have to really talk about this one? Baltimore over Cleveland Monday Night Football? All right, good Baltimore talk. All right, Cleveland at the Giants.
Oh, I want to take the Giants on this one.
They're kind of like a sneaky team this season.
Yeah.
Cleveland's 5-8 at this point. If they want that last seed, they have to win out, you'd like to think. I'm going to take Cleveland because they're fighting.
All right. We'll take Cleveland.
What about the Jets? Well, we have, Rico and Cameron said Giants for that. They kind of agree with you. I'll swap it. I'm in the minority, so we'll go Cleveland Jets.
I mean, I think Cleveland's going to have the better defense there.
Yeah, I don't trust the Jets yet. And right now, sitting here without the season start, this is week 16, of course. But right now, if this was a week 1 game, I'm taking Cleveland because I don't know where the Jets are right now. And then they finish up. I mean, it's a losing season regardless. Are they trying to go out with a bang? Pittsburgh at Cleveland.
I think it's Cleveland. I think we saw in the comments earlier is that Cleveland splits with Pittsburgh, and I think that's a good chance at the end of the season there.
Plus, I think Big Ben is probably injured at that point. I think it's a mess. Right.
I mean, they probably have like Duck Hodges there playing. Because Mason Rudolph got hurt again or something.
James Conner blew out his other knee.
There you go.
Something like that. All right, so that's Cleveland, and since we're kind of running out on time, not really yet, but we want to make sure we hit everything that we can. We're going to jump straight into let's do Pittsburgh next. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
So, Week 1, Pittsburgh Monday Night Football at the Giants.
Ooh, I want to say Pittsburgh on that one. I don't know if the Giants
Big Ben will be rolling. I don't know.
I don't know if the Giants are going to be ready for Week 1.
I'd say a lot of people trust in Saquon. I've noticed in the comments, big fans of Saquon. But
yeah,
I'm a
big fan of Barkley too. But I think Pittsburgh might be a little bit more ready.
Cameron says Giants, and Rico says Big Ben's going to show out. So I'll go Pittsburgh on that one because I also agree that Big Ben might show up for his redemption season.
There you go.
He won't make it through the season. That's my hot take. Denver at Pittsburgh.
Oh, I really think Denver. I think Denver's going to have the offense this year.
But against that defense, not a rookie, second-year quarterback with a bunch of rookie wide receivers. All they got really is Cortland Sutton. Ooh, it'd be a good game. I don't trust Denver.
All right, we'll take Pittsburgh on that one.
Yeah, you go with me. I'm the host. Oh, no. Listen to me. Denver is a sleeper team.
Yeah.
I will not deny that. But it's a tough Pittsburgh defense. It's only Drew Lock's second season. I would take Pittsburgh's defense to win that game. So Houston at Pittsburgh.
Is this Houston falling off the train tracks, or Houston how we think they're going to play, or how people think they're going to play?
I mean, for me, I think they fall off the tracks all season. I think this is going to be I think David Johnson has a pretty good season, but I just think Deshaun Watson he doesn't have his security blanket. It's not that I don't trust Deshaun Watson to play well. I don't trust Kenny Stills, and Fuller's not going to stay healthy. Stills has injury history. David Johnson has injury history. J.J. Watt can't stay healthy, and name one other player on that defense. Besides Merciless, I think. But
I was going to say Whitney Merciless.
I think people want the Texans to be good, but I just don't think they have it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that Pittsburgh Steelers kind of shutting down Deshaun Watson. So I'll take the Steelers at home.
Pittsburgh at Tennessee.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'll say Pittsburgh at 10. I'll take Pittsburgh.
Dang. Okay. I was going to take Tennessee. I would have gave Derrick Henry a big game.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how that defense could shut him down.
Philly at Pittsburgh.
Does Philly have the offense this year for it? I mean, what do you think?
They have a track team. I don't know if it's good, but it's fast. Let's pick fast and go with. I'm going to take Philly.
All right.
Battle of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Make my mom happy. Make Cameron happy. Make Rico happy. We got a bunch of Eagles fans in the audience. Let's give them Philly.
All right, I'll give them Philly.
We already picked that game, and then Pittsburgh at Baltimore.
I think it's Baltimore.
Yeah, on the road. If they might split it with Pittsburgh at home, but we'll see how the schedule lays out. I see it up there in Week 12.
Ravens-Steelers games are always, for the longest time, they were always close. So we'll see.
I don't remember last week's games, but Rico's from Philly, so he's
nice.
obviously rooting for Philly, the Eagles there. And off of a bye week, Pittsburgh at Dallas Sunday Night Football.
I'll take Pittsburgh.
All right, I'll give you this one, but now I'm starting to get concerned about Big Ben's health, if he's even still here.
It's
off of a bye week.
Coming off a bye week, they can be a little bit more fresh. Mm-hmm. They got a little bit more preparation there.
So who do you got for Cincinnati at Pittsburgh?
I think it's Pittsburgh there. I mean, I think even with Big Ben out, if he's out at that game, I still think Pittsburgh gets it done against the Bengals.
Yeah, the defense will hold up even if Big Ben's not there for that. And I think same thing with Week 11, I think. Pittsburgh at Jacksonville.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
And here's the interesting one. Thursday Night Football. Short week. against Baltimore at home.
Oh, at home, but it's a short week.
They've come off of an away game in Jacksonville. It's still on the East Coast.
So it's not a West Coast drop, which they reduced that for their Thursday night games anyway. Oh, do I want them to split?
Rico says Baltimore.
I could, yeah. I mean, if the Steelers are really falling apart a little bit here, and the Ravens are still chugging along as regular season champs, then yeah, I would take Baltimore on that.
I'll agree. I think it'll be close. It'll be a battle. Washington at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh at Buffalo. We've already seen this game.
Yeah,
I say, personally, at this point, if you want my opinion, Big Ben is out at this point. Big Ben is gone.
Yep.
That's my opinion.
He was out last year at that time of the season, too, when they played Buffalo on Sunday night.
I say he's out again by now.
I think Buffalo takes it again that year, especially being at home.
We got a Buffalo from Rico as well.
Oh,
so
nice.
Pittsburgh at Cincinnati Monday Night Football.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
All right. And Indy at Pittsburgh?
I would go Indy.
Indy. You love Indy for some godforsaken reason. You're in love with them, and I don't. I don't like Indy. I'm going to flip the coin. Which one do you want for Indy?
Tails for Indy.
Tails for Indy, because tails never fails. It's heads. I'm going to go take Indy anyways.
Oh, you could have taken Pittsburgh.
I'm going to take Indy for 10-6. I don't know if that's going to be the game that puts them at 10-6, but maybe they lose out on that Dallas one. There's a couple of weird games in there that could have gone different directions, but I think I agree with the record of 10-6. Maybe not that game of Indy at Pittsburgh.
Yeah. All right, not too shabby.
We'll quickly hit the Bengals because this should be pretty easy. The Chargers at the Bengals.
Chargers.
All right, Philly. Jacksonville at Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
All right, we got one on the board for Cincinnati. Okay, all right, Baltimore. Cincinnati get the Colts.
Colts.
Tennessee off of a bye week at Cincinnati.
Tennessee.
All right. We already got that game. Cincinnati at Washington.
I will take Cincinnati on that one.
Man, I don't know.
I think
that Washington defense. We need help from the comment section on this one. Cincinnati at Washington. Who do you guys got? Cincinnati at Washington. Because I kind of like Washington's defense to worry Joe Burrow a little bit. I don't know where he's going to be at with Washington. It's just the defense is, because the team is so terrible in Washington that we forget that defense is like close to top 5 in talent, especially that pass rush.
Yeah.
And they're on the road. This is their second week on the road. They already went to Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Washington. Sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry. The Giants off of a bye week at Cincinnati.
Oh, if they weren't off a bye week, I would take the Bengals. I think the bye week gives the Giants the edge there.
I agree. Cincinnati at Miami. Is Tua playing at this point? Is this the Joe Burrow Tua game?
Ooh. Tua hasn't. If Tua's playing by this time, I would think he hasn't played only a handful of weeks. So Burrow's got the season experience there. I really want to see Cincy win that one, though.
I would take Cincy in this one, personally.
Yeah.
Because it's like your line of logic. I think this team doesn't know who's quarterback at this point.
Right.
Maybe Tua's playing, but even if Fitzpatrick is in there, I don't know if this team's... They haven't proved with a lot of talent, but I don't know if they're a cohesive unit yet. Quarterback position might be under wraps. I'll take Cincinnati. I'm fine with that.
All right.
Dallas at Cincinnati.
Dallas
at Houston.
Cincy at Houston. Houston.
Cincy, Houston. I was looking at the wrong one. My mind went crazy.
I think it'll be Houston. I don't know if the Bengals are going to play well on the road this year.
No, I would take Houston with that. And then Baltimore at Cincy.
Obviously Baltimore.
So we have a 2-14 record for the Bengals, which sounds about right. Joe Burrow's first season is not going to go well.
Yeah.
Last but not least, the Ravens schedule. We're going to end on a high note here. Baltimore at Houston, Sunday Night Football Week 2. We had them beating Cleveland Week 1.
Correct. Take Baltimore.
KC at Baltimore, Monday Night Football.
Oh, that's going to be the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, Baltimore. KC's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Baltimore at Washington.
Baltimore
at Philly.
Could be a tough one, but I see Baltimore taking it.
Battle of the Birds. I think Philly's defense can't keep up with that speed.
Yeah.
Baltimore off of a bye week at Cincy.
Baltimore. Oh, at the Colts.
Yeah. All right, did I say Cincy again? My eyeballs are broken. What am I saying? Rico said Eagles for the Week 6 game. Baltimore at Philly. He says Eagles.
Okay.
We'll have to disagree with you on that one. I'm sorry. That's a biased opinion. I understand it, but I can't go with it. I apologize, Rico. Baltimore at the Colts.
Oh, I think it's Baltimore.
Yeah, especially off of a bye week.
Colts have a good defense, but I think they're not going to play well enough for Lamar Jackson.
Baltimore at New England, Sunday Night Football. That brings up a good question about where the Patriots will be at this point.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's still a Patriots defense. It's still Bill Belichick. I think it's a close game with that defense. And Baltimore, how's Baltimore going to shut down Jared Stidham, who is a presumable starter for the Patriots? But, yeah, I'm going to take Baltimore. I'll take them on the road in New England. I think Baltimore, we're going to see it.
Pooped on the Patriots last season, and that was with Tom Brady. Just want to remind you of that.
Yeah.
Tennessee at Baltimore, a playoff rematch.
Oh, I'm taking Tennessee.
I'm taking Tennessee too. They have them figured out. I love that. That's gonna be a fun game though. I'm gonna circle that one.
Yeah.
Week 13, Dallas at Baltimore, Thursday Night Football. And it's not even a short week because Baltimore has back-to-back Thursday night weeks.
Oh, so then Baltimore.
We have them over Cleveland in Week 14. Week 15, Jacksonville at Baltimore. Okay,
Baltimore.
Copy that. Baltimore, the Giants at Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yep. And we already had Baltimore beating Cincy in Week 17, so it's a 14-2 record for Baltimore.
They have such an easy schedule.
They do. It's the easiest schedule in the league by far.
Wow.
And even the Patriots are going to have a worse year than last year, in my opinion. So that even makes it easier for them.
Yeah.
It's their only two losses are coming to the Super Bowl champions and the team that beat them last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
that's
if Cleveland ends up being a unit and our record is wrong by Week 14, maybe Cleveland takes it at home. That could be a possibility, but obviously 6-0 conference or division record, 14-2. We had the Steelers at 10-6, and that's a good spot for a seventh seed for the playoffs this year. Cleveland at 7-9, another down year, and that could really look at Baker Mayfield's future in Cleveland. And Cincinnati, obviously 2-14, they're not even in the picture.
Right.
Yeah. So that's our AFC breakdown. AFC North, sorry. Rico agrees with us.
Very nice.
I don't see anyone else chiming in yet. I don't know where Cameron went. Cameron might have left after we had Philly losing to Baltimore. He might have got mad. Sorry, Cameron. Sorry, my mother too. She might be watching. Sorry. But that's what we have for our AFC North predictions. And that is, for the most part, pretty much our show.
We still got a little bit of time left, though.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come chat in the comment section with us, for those listening on the radio, We appreciate you guys tuning in. And with our very short, limited amount of time, I want to do some off-the-field stuff. Yeah. I have my list of people here. And I have an off-the-field person for the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, Browns, for all of them. But I have to say that probably my one of my favorite ones was actually the Steelers. It was the Pouncey brothers. Pittsburgh Steelers, Marquise Pouncey. He does this with his brother in collaboration with his brother Mike Pouncey. Caring, giving, and community, 3 simple words alone, but when combined perfectly describe Marquise Pouncey. They have the Team Pouncey Foundation, and the mission is to promote the future success of disadvantaged youth by assisting programs that provide leadership and growth opportunities for children at risk. Through their giving, they provide over $10 million, and the funds were used to support at-risk youth through the grants and programs since its inception. I should have a website link in here somewhere. Past 3 seasons, the Pouncey brothers have donated tickets to Steelers home games, and they also bring in the Pittsburgh police, and the youth and the police get together and they play games, and they get to, tailgate together. And with this time frame, recent events, just reading this, bringing the police and the youth together, obviously can help grow a bond that is definitely lacking in today's America, and for good reason, might I say. I don't want to sound like a awkward way of saying that, but the tickets are distributed to different police zones each week, allowing a wide range of kids the opportunity to not only see a game, but spend quality time interacting with the police and getting to know the men and women who are there to protect them. It's a great opportunity, and it's something that we want to do here in Rochester as well. I've talked about it on past shows, that we want to get the police involved in the community more, because, when you pass a police officer that's in a cruiser, your first thought is, oh man, there's the police. You never get to know the people in the uniform these days. And that's something we would like to change. That's some positive impact we would like to bring through. So we'd like to do that. And also along with the Boys and Girls Club of Rochester, it's 2 things. We have our focus, and we're trying to try and make an event out of that and make a positive impact on our community. And that's our goal. And we would love anyone's help in the community with us doing that. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Carlo, again, of the Charlotte Colonials, for being our guest. And thank you for the team for tuning into the comments. That's awesome. Rico sticking with us through the whole thing. Thank you for your input on our schedule as well, Rico. It was awesome. Make sure you go. Everyone joins the OOTF family group so we can chat throughout the week. And as we wrap up the show, Fred,
all hail the Jockstrap King.